Well, hello, youth leaders. This is Pastor Josh, and I just wanted to do a quick youth leader training video that would take the place of us having to meet on a special occasion. Hopefully, this will be much more time efficient, much more efficient than meeting together. So here's a few things that I've been thinking about it as the youth pastor, and how are we going to facilitate growth in our youth, and how can we help manage the youth group? And so here's a few items that I feel like the Lord kind of pricked my heart about. That if we were to get an influx of kids, 20 or 30 kids, we wouldn't be ready for it right now. So here's a couple items that we need to really think about. So let's just kind of go over this, how to address these issues. Number one, we need some youth leaders to arrive early for youth service. We're trying to start at 6:30 as our start time, but we need things in place earlier so that when parents drop kids off, kids come on the bus, there's already adults there who are watching and monitoring what's going on. So if you're available and you're helping with the youth, you're one of the persons on the snack bar schedule, whatever, if you could try to arrive at 6:15, and that way, you got everything set up for the youth when they get there. Even earlier if possible. I'm just saying 6:15 because it is challenging to get there early. Um, so when you get there, look for things like, okay, do have the ping pong tables and all that been set out? Do is the light are the lights on in the church? Sometimes I'm running behind, or whoever's picking the kids up, and I've shown up remember last year, coming to getting to church with the kids on the bus, and the lights are all off in the church, and when that happens, it just says we don't really care about what we're doing. It's not important to us. Um, Even like things like music, getting some music going. I'll try to get a playlist together that we can turn on in the foyer. Those aren't super important things, but just little things to make. I think it will make better for our youth, better experience, especially for new people. Nothing worse than a new person showing up and the lights are off, no music on, and nobody knows what's going on. So, okay, the second thing would be, I'd like to get um, a one of the things that the youth have asked for is, when they come early to church, sometimes they got a lot of homework. So I'd like to get a homework room set up in one of the classrooms that's just designated for homework. The kids can't go in there and goof around, but if they need to do homework, that's very important that they can do it in a place that's quiet. So if one of our leaders, we'll talk about this, but if you'd be willing to do that, let me know. It may not be something that's needed every week, but more as the kids get there. A lot of times they bring their backpacks. Um, and this is a big thing. When you get to church, we need to have our youth leaders spreading out. We can't all be like sitting in the cafe talking together, and I'm guilty of this, but we need to pay attention to where are the youth? Are they all in the foyer? Then we can all be in the foyer. But if you see, for instance, a teenager, um, a couple of them go out in the parking lot, we need to have somebody who's monitoring that, making sure they're not going around the back of the church, or leaving the property. Once they're there, they need to be there. And this isn't a problem right now with less than 20 kids, but you get 50 kids or to 30 kids, and it starts to get harder to keep track of. Okay, where's so and so, and especially when you see guys and girls together. Uh, a red flag, something to watch would be if you see a high school boy with a middle school girl. You keep your eye on that, and you don't have to necessarily stand outside, but just watch. A lot of times they go out in the parking lot and they like to just talk out there, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Um, so we got youth leaders spreading out. Youth, there shouldn't be any youth in the classrooms except for if we have a homework area, because there's no need for them to be in the classrooms. That's just a potential for something bad to happen. They need to be out in the open where we can all see them. So don't let the youth go into classrooms unless they're practicing dramas or something that it's the right thing for them to be doing, but not just hanging out alone in classrooms. Um, Cell phone policy. Basically, once they get to youth group, and once youth group starts, the cell phone is only used for the Bible. A lot of the kids have the Bible on their phones, and that's just something we're not really going to be able to fight. But no texting during service. Don't let them call during service unless it's an emergency. And before service, you can't really stop that. Let them. They can text and that then, but encourage them to not. Encourage them to hang out and to socialize. Uh, Here's a big one. Here's one that will really help me during the service. Where should the youth leader sit during a service? Okay, most of the time the youth leaders just naturally want to sit in the back because you don't want to, you don't feel. I'm not a teenager. I don't want to sit with the teenagers. But that's sometimes that's counterproductive because when you sit with them, oftentimes they will automatically behave a little better. So if you're here as a youth leader and you've been coming to youth group, or even if you're a parent who just comes once in a while, that's what your schedule allows, try to sit with the youth and just look. Okay, is there a youth leader on this row? If there's no youth leader on that row, there's no adult, sit on that row, and you will help a lot of the talking and disruptions during the service. You'll help that problem. Um, so the only reason you be sitting in the back is if there's just not, no need for it. You got a youth leader in every row, and or you're a parent and you're filming or something, or something like that. Um, that's fine. But uh, regular youth leaders try to sit with the youth. That would be the best possible thing. Okay. Um, Bathrooms. When a kid gets up to go to the bathroom, whether it's during the game, whether it's during speed the light offering, or during the service, we need to monitor that. We need to pay attention. Okay, they went to the bathroom. We give them a couple minutes at tops. If they aren't coming back into the service, we need to one of the leaders needs to go and check out, make sure they're actually in the bathroom. If you're a guy, obviously you don't go in the girls' bathroom. Girls, same thing with the guys. But uh, don't hesitate. Just go in, ask them what they're doing, and encourage them to get back in the service. We don't want kids hanging out in the bathrooms or getting on their phones and doing all that kind of stuff. Um, so just pay attention to that. If they go, ask them also not to go in groups. I know that's hard to stop, but if the three girls get up to the bathroom, ask them, quietly, do you really all need to go to the bathroom? And try to discourage that. Um, let's see here. Behavior problems. This is how we deal with behavior problems during the youth service. Now it's a little differently like before service, but during the youth service, this is the time when the problems kind of really can distract from the message or prayer or whatever we're doing. Okay, if you have a behavior issue, you see kids talking, you see them on their phones, texting, they're throwing notes at each other or whatever. Here's what you do. First thing you do is you get up and you just go sit by them. That'll fix the problem. 75% of the time. Just go as a leader. You just get up, move the person next to them, just sit next to them, and don't even say anything to them. Just sit. Okay. If they continue to goof off or whatever they're doing, the second thing you would do, okay, is you would warn them. You warn them that if they do it again, you will move them. And so you give them that warning. If they do it again, you do move them. Move them, to the back or away from the rest of the students, and do it as quickly as possible so it's not a big ordeal. You don't need to ask me or anything like that. Just do it. I trust you. Warn them, okay? Or to move them. If after you've moved them, if they continue to argue with you or get smart or be a disruption during the service, that's when you, as a youth leader, you take them out of the service, okay, and you use your best judgment. Is take them out, and if they can calm down and that you can reason with them, let them back in after a few minutes and sit them away from everybody else again. If they're not reasoning with you, they're not listening, don't bring them back in the service. Just sit out there with them, and even possibly we might have to call their parents to come pick them up, which is an option for us. We need to do that if it's getting to the point where we can't even deal with them. One thing to remember: never physically move a kid. Don't pull them by the shirt or by the hand, or just ask them to move. Don't ever physically touch, hit, or anything like that. You can get in trouble for that. And so those are just a few things that I thought of, I've been thinking about lately. I'll probably try to do these little videos to help us get on the same page more often. And so these are a few for right now, and I'll probably do these again. But I hope you guys, hope this helps and gets us all on the right page together. And if you have any questions, just give me a call. All right, bye.